What's up guys, Joey here of YugaTech, and every year at Mobile World Congress, companies take the opportunity to showcase what new cool innovations they have. And at this year's MWC, there was no shortage of phones that we couldn't have expected. And we're not just talking about foldable phones or 5G. There were a lot of cool phones this year, but these are our top 7 favorite phones out of MWC 2019. Coming in at number 7, we have a big phone. Literally, it's big. It's gonna be the Energizer PowerMax P18K Pop. It's a long name, but the name explains it all. You get a whopping 18,000 mAh battery with fast charging and a pop-up module with 2 selfie cameras. Other than that, the phone packs a MediaTek processor, 6GB of RAM, 128GB of storage, and it runs on Android 9 Pie. I guess you could say that it's more power bank than phone at this point, and the device does look like a brick. Either way, it's impressive. At the number 6 spot is the wearable phone, the Nubia Alpha. It really does materialize our wishes of having a smartphone you can wear, and it doesn't disappoint. With a 4-inch OLED display, the Nubia Alpha has a 500 mAh battery that can last 2 days. It also supports voice commands and gestures, and did I mention it looks really cool? Number 5 goes to Xiaomi. Now that 5G is highly anticipated this year, Xiaomi decided to introduce a new 5G variant of the Mi Mix 3. And this is very interesting because, as we know, Xiaomi is known for coming out with high-spec phones at low prices. And the Mi Mix 3 5G so far comes with a €599 price tag. Beside that, it has a slide-out camera, Snapdragon 845, up to 10GB of RAM, and up to 256GB of internal storage. Availability for the variants, of course, will depend on your region. Okay, for number 4, we get the LG V50 ThinQ. It's not exactly a foldable phone, but it does have 2 screens. I like how they give you the option to use 2 screens if you want, or just use it like a regular smartphone. It is a folding phone, but it doesn't have to be. It has a 6.4-inch secondary display, which is kind of the dual screen accessory. The V50 ThinQ is also one of those phones that boasts ultra-fast 5G. So we're down to number 3, and we have the Sony Xperia 1. 19:9 displays are dead, at least according to Sony. The Xperia 1 has a 6.5-inch 4K OLED display tuned by the Bravia team that has a really tall 21:9 aspect ratio. The thinking behind this is that Sony wants to bring the experience of a TV onto your smartphone. Under the hood, it has a Snapdragon 855 chipset, 6GB of RAM, and 128GB of internal storage. Aside from the Xperia 1, Sony also introduced the Xperia 10 and 10 Plus, which are mid-range phones that have the same 21:9 screen. At number 2, we have a comeback, but before we say what it is, I will warn you now, tripophobia alert. Tripophobia alert. Now that you've been warned, number 2, it's the Nokia 9 PureView. It has a whopping total of 5 12-megapixel camera lenses at the back. 2 of them are dedicated RGB cameras, while the other 3 are for capturing black and white data. This innovation is expected to boost your photos to give you more details and lifelike images. Other specs include a Snapdragon 845 chipset, 6GB of RAM, and 128GB of storage. And here we go for number 1. I think most of you can agree that Huawei stole the show with their foldable phone, the Mate X. When unfolded, you get an amazing notch-free 8-inch display, but when folded, it turns into 2 new displays. Of course, there's a small strip on the back where the cameras are placed, but it still looks good. So it has 4 cameras, a Kirin 980 chipset, plus a new Balong 5000 chip for full 5G support. The Mate X also comes with 8GB of RAM and 512GB of storage that's expandable by up to 256GB via microSD card. We actually did a specs comparison the other day between the Mate X and Samsung's Galaxy Fold. If you want to check that out, you can click right here. Okay, there were a lot of amazing devices at this year's MWC, but these 7 were really the ones that stood out to us, and it leaves us excited for what the rest of the year has in store. So thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please do give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel for more content, hit that bell icon so you don't miss any future uploads, and be sure to visit YugaTech.com for the latest tech news and reviews. Again, this has been Joey, and I'll see you guys in the next one.